the things we know. Ghostly whispers through the trees, eyes in the dark bring us to our knees. Creatures lurking just out of sight. We spin our tails in the dead of night. A howl that goes far through the hollowed wood. They say it's a beast no one understood, with claws like knives and eyes that gleam. It walks through the veil between the seen and unseen. Ghostly whispers through the trees, eyes in the dark bring us to our knees. Creatures lurking just out of sight. We spin our tails in the dead of night. A woman in white by the river's bend. Her song is sweet, but it marks the end. They say if you hear it, your soul's at stake. But her voice is a beauty you can't forsake. The campfire flickers as we speak the Lord. The wind seems to howl just a little more. Are they stories or truth? We cannot say. But the shadows are watching where we lay.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Bizarre of Campfire Chats with Eric and your guest. I'm your host E.D. Testerman. Oh man, I'm been hearing some pretty good stories, not from subscribers, hopefully future subscribers, but I've been hearing some really interesting stuff going on out there. And not only that, I've caught a couple interesting things on my game cam. Once again, they didn't trigger the game cam. These were captured during a test picture that happens every night at the same time. Oh no, Roxanne, that ain't good. So we'll be going over that tonight too, and I also want to hear what you guys. I mean, have you guys had anything bizarre and unknown happen to you out there? Um, I I was working on a new intro for my investigations when I go on investigations. Currently, I'm working on a paranormal intro. I created the song. I'm trying to stitch videos together. So, my investigations that I have on YouTube already, I'm probably going to be remixing them here pretty soon with this new program, stitching them together. Hopefully, they flow together a lot better than what they have been. So, be looking for that. That as soon as I can get it done with what time. I've been busy today. I just got back home a little bit ago. Had to go pick up an emergency washing machine so I can get some laundry washed. So once I get done here tonight, I'll be end up hooking up a washing machine. Roxanne, whatever. Yeah, I always say this is what Saturday's for. So you want to come on live and share your encounters, I'll bring you on. I don't have an issue one with that. But uh, oh, no worries, Tracy. All good, all good. I'm gonna be popular. I'm gonna be on the boob tube over at Tracy's house. So, but yes, there's a lot of stuff coming in the works. I'm hoping to improve a lot of this stuff because I'm a one man show and I have no clue how to stitch things together, how to work stuff. So I am learning as I go. So this is going to be fun. Corey. So as I'm waiting on you guys to talk about your recent encounter, I'd scare everyone. Oh man. You sure you ain't opening up portals with those mirrors? So this first photo that I'm going to share with you guys, I've got mixed feelings on this. Hey, Roger. I really have mixed feelings on this photo simply because it could be a moth. The odd thing about it, this was taken when we was having a crap ton of rain pretty much nonstop. I'll never tell. So I can't say this is not a moth, but it's an odd looking moth. I'll give you that. It is an interesting picture, but if it's the closest thing that I can come up with it, if it's not a fairy. Hey, Jessica. So I'm going to get this popped up here. Well, as soon as my computer catches up to what I'm doing. Hello. I'm trying to enlarge you for a reason. Crow big. Thank you. Let me get this up on screen share. But yeah, I got to hook up a washing machine after I get done with the show. So with this picture here, this is what I'm looking at. This very well could be a moth, although it's odd looking. Let me enlarge it a little bit. And like I said, this was taken, let's see here. This was taken on the 26th at midnight, back when we was having a lot of rain going on. I think the rain had just subsided by this time. But look at the shape. It's all horseshoed right here with the wings coming up. And then it looks like, I don't know, something else down here. And I'll kind of enlarge it a little bit more, but the more I enlarge it, the more it distorts, so it's hard to see. But this never did trigger my game cam. And usually moths ain't coming out when it's raining. So I don't know. I mean, it could have quit raining. It came out real quick, and that's what this is. But it appeared. Hey, Heifer. So I'm kind of curious what you guys think. I mean, definitely an interesting capture either way. Oop, crap. My damn mouse is doing its own thing. Let me bring it back down. It's a little bit better there. But it's the wing shape here is real curious. And how it comes up, cuts back in, and comes back out. Almost angelic looking. I guess is one way to describe it. Would you picture angels when you was growing up? So yeah, I thought that was cool. I'm still trying to figure out. I can't get moth off the table. I have to keep moth on the table because it is very possible that it's what it is. Um, oh. Oh my gosh, Corey. So I was kind of curious. What do you guys think about that photo? Where is it? There it is. It looks interesting. Yeah, it does to me too. I mean, my first initial thought was moth until I enlarged it, and you can see it's very odd looking. This next one, I mean, perfect angel here in my butt. Um, this next one, it could be a fog, but I've never had a photo of a fog that looked the way that this does. And this one here was captured on the 30th. That is a very good description, Joanne. Yes, yes, that is a very, very good description. Almost like a mini dove. I mean, that is an extremely good condition. And this was taken at 12:09 at night. Roxanne. So I mean, I don't know. It's just I thought it was cool, so I figured I'd share it with you guys. Now, what blows my mind on this picture here is so this is could be fog, but I've never had fog that had perfect horizontal lines all the way through the fog. So, and I could be wrong, and that may has happened. I've just never had it happen to me. But look, it's almost like something's going like this way, and it's in the mist is trying to catch up to it, whatever it is. But you can see right here, and I'll enlarge it a little bit. You can see it better. There we go. You can see perfect horizontal lines. Oh my God, dog! Wow, dude, you too, Jiminy Christmas, man. Jeez, dude. Oh, hey, bolt gun. um, but with these perfect lines coming across, I'm kind of curious. Is anybody else in chat had caught fog with perfect lines? Well, I mean, if I lived next to a swamp, Tim, that's possible. But I don't live next to a swamp. I live on top of the well, it's hills now. It used to be mountains, but I live in the Ozark Mountains, and I live at the one of the higher elevations. Guys, see, I haven't either. I have not either, Corey. I've not seen fog like this. Jessica, if you're still in the chat, have you seen fog like this before on your investigations? I'm kind of curious. It's weird how it's got them lines. It has, Roxanne. I don't know what these guys' deals is. Maybe it's because I've been feeding them some wet food, trying to keep them from eating that dry food all the time. Every now and then I'll give them some wet food to help their stomach. That may be what it is. Now, because Boar's in here doing it now. Oh, do you? I want to hear about that, Joanne. But yeah, I thought that was a cool find too, so I figured I'd share it with you guys. And I mean, you can see here, same as always on my test times. 09 0900, and this was taken on the 30th. There's a face in the fog right above the bushes to the left of the screen. You talking about this right here? That to me it looks like a woman's upper torso. I guess it'd be a YouTube friendly way of putting it. Man, it does kind of look like it may have a face to it. First glance, it looked like a woman's upper torso, but if I enlarge it more, there's the eyes, there's the nose, there's the mouth. Holy crap. Could be pareidolia. I mean, it very well could be pareidolia. That's cool, though. I didn't see that before. Yeah, Roxanne, pareidolia, yeah. Yeah, it could be pareidolia. I don't know. Well, and it's kind of shaped with the fog, honestly. So it could be running this way. Because you can kind of see how the fog contours to that shape. Huh. Those bushes at the bottom. That's bottom left. I can't help it, Urso. Yeah, for yes, I'm trying to see the face. The only thing I seen was that one that's above it that I was just talking about right there. This is to the left. Let me make sure I read that right. Let me scroll back up here. There's a face in the fog right above the bushes to the left of the screen. Okay, yeah, that was that there. That's this thing right here. Um, you might be. I don't know, man. Right there is the bushes to the left. I'm trying to look at it from both screens to see if I can see something different. Let me bring it out. Uh, Either way, I mean, it's cool. But I never noticed it until you said something, and I looked at that right there, and then all of a sudden you get a little closer and you notice the fog forms with it. See how it curves? That's still cool. I embarrassed an old boyfriend. Always kept looking at a woman's breast. It would tickle me, thinking I didn't know. One time I said in public, I thought you liked big tots, not little. Heck yeah. Oh, guys. So, I mean, that's just a couple interesting finds I found on my game cam. You know, I moved that game cam. That was the one that I had captured what looked like portals and stuff like that on it. I moved it from that location because it wasn't doing much and moved it to, damn dog. I moved it to another location and now I'm getting more hits in a different spot. I mean, it's still in the same area. It's just about 120 yards from where it was, about 120 yards west of where it was. So it's still in the same location that it originally was when I was capturing that weird stuff. But now it's just in a different spot. I'm catching more weird stuff with it. This one is This one here, it's over by my archery stand. I don't know. I'll be kind of wondering about that one, Roxanne. I can see your sassiness coming out and saying that. Um, so that being said, Roxanne, what's here about yours? Get back up here. Excuse me. Oh, did I miss it? Did I miss it? Maybe just the same guys. Who you? Thought you said you had something. Was I mistaken? Oh no, I'm sorry. That was Joanne. Joanne. Sorry, Roxanne and Joanne. Hey, no problem. Hey, Joanne, let's hear more about what you was wanting to share. I am curious about that. Yes, mistaken. I was. I was. I don't know what's going on in my memory, man. It's getting worse and worse and worse. Hey, Bolt Gun. You can, or do you want to come on? If you want to come on, let me know. I'll send the link in the chat. You can come on. I have no issue with that at all. All right. I won't force her to come on. If she wants to come on, I have no issue putting the link in there and bringing her on. But I won't force somebody to do it if they don't want to. I respect her. I respect it. Okay. Give me a second. Let me get set up here and we'll get you on. All right. There's the link. Oh, dude, seriously, quit doing that. I'm going to stick a cork up your butt. Hey, Allie. So, Joanne, just click that link. That'll get you set up in here. Let me know if you want to be visible or just heard. What I miss on yours, Allie? Let me scroll. Is the chemtrails affecting you? I don't know, Allie, if they are or not. I just know it's getting kind of worse, and it could be. It could have a lot to do with. Man, I've been extremely busy and like getting very little sleep. I mean, I'm averaging 3-4 hours of sleep, and my body could be just shutting down because I'm pretty much doing something either at my regular job, this or my books 7 days a week, every waking moment. I'm constantly just go 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 go, and that could be a lot to what has to do with it. I am not going there. It could be that too, or so. It could be that too. But yeah, Joanne, if you want to be visible, let me know. If you don't, let me know. I can hide everything, just have audio. But click that link in there, and that should set you up to bring you in. You just want to be heard? Okay. I need to, and I'm going to. I got some sleep last night, but I'm still dog tired. I'm still dog tired. I got done with William's show this morning. Was getting things set up for tomorrow. Got done doing that. Had to rush to town, pick up a washing machine. Decided to eat some lunch while I was in town. Rushed back here. Got all that up and unloaded. Came in here and got back to work. And I mean, it's just just constantly. constantly doing things. But when you get in, I'll get your camera hid, Joanne. Yeah, link's still going. It's up above. You'll see it above Allie's comments. It says chemtrails dang spell check. It's that one there. Dang, flies are bad this year. But yeah, no. So no, I'm waiting on her to be able to come in. But yeah, so I'll be redoing all of the investigations I've been on, and Belize Bub is busy this time of year. Trying to think. I live off grid, so understand you never. Yeah, and I'm trying to turn this place into self sustaining, and sadly because of finances right now and the fact that it's just me, it's getting kind of hard. It's especially with my injuries. There's days like with all this rain has really played hell on my joints, like bad, massively played hell on my joints, and it does that way when it's cold too. Uh, I don't mind the cold. My body just don't like the cold. It's something about cold and rain, man. That stuff don't really bother me except for my joints. And it's been. I was kind of walking real rough yesterday until I went in to see the acupuncturist, and after a lot of those he stuck in me was painful. That means I was in pretty bad shape. But after I left there, I started feeling better. Heck, today I lifted that washing machine up by myself out of the back of the truck. And I was like, man, I'm back to my old self. I mean, I just picked it up, lifted it up, set it on the ground, and got it up here. Yeah. Oh, okay. Beelzebub. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Yeah. I mean, it's how it is, Allie. I know, man. It sucks. Beelzebub. Now, man, I don't know why they didn't register. um, yeah, yeah. So I don't let it get me down. So yeah, I got it in the house, and now I got to pull everything out and get everything cleaned up so I can get it put in place and then start doing laundry. So it's gonna be a long night for me. Can I log? Yeah. Uh, So I had an ablation done on my back, Allie, and it worked. It was the first time in 21 years I was without pain. It worked great. I mean, it was nice because I was at the point where I couldn't cut wood for more than 10 minutes and I'd be curled up on the ground, damn near in tears, can't hardly breathe because the pain was just overwhelmingly bad. But that was like 3, 4 years ago, and it's came back. My nerves is healed up and it's came back, and I'm getting back to that point again. I'm still a lot more flexible than what I was. I'm not near as bad as I was before the ablation, but it's getting there again. And this acupuncture has been so helpful. From what I've been seeing and reading, that is could be a summer of riots. Oh, that this could be a summer of riots. I don't know, man. I haven't heard nothing on that on my end, but it's possible. The people I know, they haven't been saying nothing like that, but I can't say that it won't be because some excuse you, gesundheit. Get it out. What'd you sniff some coke? I mean, what happened to you? Yeah, okay, okay. Ow, your claws, dude, your claws. You can't climb up on my shoulder. You're too big. You okay? You feel better now? That was a whole lot of sneezing. Quit. You're knocking my dude. Come on. You're knocking my stuff off. Yeah. Okay. You done sneezing now? You feel better? Or you feel safe now? I got you. Do you think you lost what little brains you had up in that head of yours? Huh? Okay. Time to get down now. Come on. Come on, you big bruiser. Time to get down. Oh. Okay. Yeah, the doctor will encourage you to for more surgeries. That's how they earn their. Yeah, and that's so I kind of pissed mine off because I canceled my surgery and I'm doing other treatments besides surgery, and it's been helping tremendously. I can type again. I can hold stuff better. I still have my weak moments, but I can type better than when I was. I can hold things better than I was. Um, so it's been helpful. I work in medical, see and hear too much. Oh, yeah, I get that, Ali. Yeah, yeah. Most of the people I know, even some past girlfriends, even an ex-wife, had worked in the medical field at one time, and they worked everything from hospice on up. Hey, Joanne, give me a second and let me get you set up here. Okay, that should hide your deal. Hey, Joanne, where we got your face hidden.
Hi there. Can you
No,
hear me?
my deal not working.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello,
Testing.
guys here because I can't.
Can't hear me? Hello? No?
Where's the?
Hello? Hello?
We do. Okay, so you can hear her.
Hello?
Okay, let me try something different then.
No, I can't hear you.
Let me try that. Can you say something again?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Why am I? Can't hear her? Okay. Let me try something here. Hold on one
I've
second.
never done this before, so I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, that's that. That's that. Ah, here we go. Let me try this. There we go. Now I can hear you.
One,
Sorry,
two,
I
three.
just realized it was on the wrong. Yeah, I had you on the wrong setting.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so you said you had something interesting about fog, if I remember correctly.
Yes. When my
Okay, go ahead.
daughter was, is it too loud?
No, you're good.
Okay. When my
I can
daughter
turn it.
was, we were waiting by the school bus, my best friend and my child and her child. I think they were in kindergarten at the time. The bus came,
Mhm.
took them away, and we stood there on the corner and chatted. I looked across the street at my house, which was set back a little ways off the road, down a long driveway. And we're just
Mhm.
chatting away. And all of a sudden, I see like something silver. And I'm thinking it's my van because my van had a silver rail at the top. So she turns and looks because her back is to it. And we both look at the same time. I said, "Oh, it must be," at the time, my husband, my ex husband. Um, I said, "He must have come back and had forgotten something and he's leaving for work now." I'm thinking to myself. So I said, yeah, it must be him. And all of a sudden, it floats up. It's not the silver piece of the van. It's a thick fog, is what it looks like to me. But it actually turned into the shape of a body. And so then I was thinking, well, maybe, all this happened in a matter of seconds. But she's like, what's that? And I'm thinking, I don't know. Who is that? And the person, the man, the fog thing, walked up over the hill. The house kind of looked like the house from Psycho, where it was up on a hill. So
Yeah.
you could see him walking up on the hill, but it's not a person at all. And it's all very free form and dissipating and then changing. So I'm thinking it's this worker that used to walk past the house on the road, and he'd swing his arm in a funny way. He was always wearing a long white shirt, an older man. So I was thinking at that one second, oh, it must be him. But then when it started changing, she and I were just flabbergasted, and I was like, what's that? And she's like, what's that? At the same time. And we didn't know what to say. And we just watched it, and it walked across up the hill, up to like where my front porch was. And I was like, this is so weird. Because we realized at that moment it was not a human being. It was in the shape of a human being, but it just like was all free form. But it had like legs and one arm, and it was just the weirdest thing. And I would not go into my house until, in fact, I stayed with her until the entire, time my child and her child were in school, until my ex-husband came home. And then I went back because I thought for sure there was someone in the house, and I was like too scared, even though we knew it was not a person. It was just like fog or something. I've never seen anything like it. Well, at that time, it gets weirder. At that time, my tenant downstairs comes home. I think it was the next day. It wasn't that day. It was like the next day. And he looked like he had been through the war. And he was wearing like a suit, carrying his jacket over his arm. And he had like a bow tie, and it was half, undone. And I said, how was your trip? Because he went to go visit his girlfriend in Ohio. He was a sheriff deputy. And so he started crying, and he had a book in his hand, and it was the memory book that they have at a funeral. And he said, she's gone. And he told me the story about how he went to meet her, and they stopped off at like 7-Eleven for an iced tea, and then he followed her, and she was driving a Lexus, like an SUV. So you figure that's a pretty strong vehicle. And she took the turn off the highway too fast, and ended up, like where the off ramp is, in the dark, because it was dark. And he got out of the car and tried to find her. She wasn't in the car. She went through the windshield, apparently. And he was like, he stepped on something, and it was her. It was her hair he stepped on by her head. She was dead. So apparently he stayed over there with the family, and they buried her and all that. And then he was finally coming back. I didn't see him every day. He would go on vacations and cruises and stuff. So yeah, and in fact, he had met this woman on a cruise. She had just gotten divorced, and so he was really excited to go see her at the time. So I'm putting two and two together. My friend Heidi, that's her name. She and I were talking about it, and I was like, you're not going to believe this. And she's like, maybe that was her. Maybe she came back looking for him. And I said, whatever it was, it was definitely a ghost. And that's
Yeah.
my story about the fog. I don't know if I told it that well, but I did the best I could.
Oh, that's fine, and that's the thing is, so my experience, I've said it before, I've dealt with paranormal, supernatural around the world, and there's so many times that you'll find something paranormal or supernatural in fog. Now, the fact that you said it was on top of a van and then got off and took human shape, if I remember
No, no,
correctly.
it wasn't on top of
Oh,
the van. I thought it was my ex-husband's, our van, the family van, because he had already left for
okay, yeah,
work
yeah.
like an hour before. But I thought he had come
Mhm.
back, and it wasn't that. It was like coming down the driveway, and then it
Oh,
reversed and went up the hill, went backwards up the hill
okay,
towards the house. Yeah,
yeah. Hey,
it was
Don.
from.
Uh,
I
so, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I spotted it from like the side of the house where the garage is. That's when I first saw it through. Like there was a bush there, and it was above the bush a little bit. So I was thinking,
Hmm.
well, it must be the top of the van. You know how vans have those rails.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's where I remember that from.
and it was a
Yeah.
silver van too, by the way, an old clunker. But yeah, I mean, no doubt in my mind, it was a free-form person taking shape.
And yeah, I mean, so the possibility of it being paranormal and actually being her, that's a very good possibility. Many, many times, and that's why I showed that fog because that fog was odd that I caught on my game cam because I mean, I have captured and I have seen fog dealing with paranormal. Sometimes that's the only way they can manifest, and then you watch it manifest into human shape. Did the human shape look female or did it look male?
It didn't look either. It just looked like arms and legs and a head, like a loose white shirt with legs moving. Because the man that used to walk down the road would wear an oversized, he was very thin, and he was a migrant worker that would only come during the summertime. And this was not summertime. So this was like maybe April or May.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it really wasn't his time to be there, but he would come every year. And it didn't look like a man or his skin with the fog.
Yeah. So, my next question: what did the feel of the air? Did it feel heavy? Did it feel energetic? Did it feel odd? Could you notice something in the air that just didn't feel right?
Well, no, not really, because we were talking a lot, how women are, and yapping away. And so I really didn't notice, but it wasn't until something caught the corner of my eye that I saw it. And then she turned around to see what I was looking at. But we didn't really, I mean, afterwards, we felt like it was just amazing. It was like, what the heck was that? It was a sunny
Hmm.
day. You can't say I was doing laundry because, and there was steam coming out or something because I wasn't doing laundry. It was early in the morning. We were just putting the kids on the bus. Um,
Yeah,
and there's no house
that
on.
early in the morning.
We were across the
Close.
street.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried to think of what it could have been, but I mean, if I wish I could put her on. She's not here now. She's still down there in Putnam County, New York. But she'd tell you the same thing. It was just
Yeah,
weird.
it sounds paranormal. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's supernatural, but it
Right.
does sound something paranormal, especially when you said that there was nothing strange in the air. And that's why I asked that question. I'll be honest with you. Most of the
Mhm.
time, I bet you'll feel it with paranormal too, but most of the time, when you feel a weird energy in the air on something like that, it's supernatural. But it does happen to paranormal too. I mean, I have witnessed it with paranormal as well, but most of the time, when you don't feel anything, that's usually paranormal based because paranormal doesn't put off the energy that supernatural does. So that's why I was asking that question. So to me, it sounds like paranormal. Now, was it this young? Was it this lady that your ex husband was seeing? That's possible. I mean, it very well could have been. She's wanting to find him to tell him that
Oh,
she's sorry.
it
She
was
messed
it
up. I
was the
mean, that
man who
is,
lived downstairs. It was the
huh?
man who lived downstairs. He was seeing her.
Oh, the man lived. Oh, sorry. So the man that was living downstairs. I'm sorry. I thought you said ex
Yeah,
husband. Um, so man, yeah, that could be her going up to him to say, "I'm sorry. I
I
messed
think
up."
so. I
Because
think she was looking for him.
you, hmm I think
I
it
don't
could
know.
now, and it could be completely different too. I'm not saying that's who it is, but that's a good possibility. Now, dealing with the dead and them coming back as a specter, um, it is not uncommon for them to seek somebody out, and a lot of times they stay around because they're trying to get a message out. That's why, if you notice, when I do investigations, I'm always asking, do you have a message you need to pass on? Because that is a very common thing amongst spirits is they want to tell somebody something and they never got the chance to tell them. So yeah, it's man, yeah, that sounds fair. I'd say you're probably pretty close to it.
And also, this was the haunted house that I lived in. I mention I lived in a haunted house that was next to a cemetery, and I think even built
Yeah.
on a cemetery because I tried to um, shovel out a garden, and I kept finding these stones, marker stones, and then I went next door to the property next door, and there were all
Hmm.
old gravestones from the 1800s.
Yeah.
But
um,
um, there's a poltergeist in the house. The
hmm.
first night I stayed there with my daughter, my husband at the time, went back down to where we were living before we moved, and there was banging on the walls. I locked myself in the guest bedroom with my daughter and called the people across the street. He was a home inspector, and he came
Yeah.
over and he looked in the attic, which was empty, and he says, "There's no raccoon droppings or squirrel nests or anything." Um, they were looking for a reason for the
That's
banging, but the banging came up the stairs, down the hall, banging on the wall, all the way to the
hmm.
bedroom. And then other times, like I'd be giving her a bath or putting her to bed, and I'd hear dishes rattling and falling, and it sounded like pots falling out of the cabinets in the kitchen downstairs. And I'd go down there, and there'd be nothing. But one time, I was in her bedroom putting her to sleep, and down the hall was her bathroom. We hadn't been in there. It had been a while since she brushed her teeth and whatnot. And uh, I heard a breaking sound, a loud, loud thing breaking. And we both ran in there, and there was a broken, I used to have a basin on the
Hmm.
sink, uh, uh, a pottery basin with a
Hmm.
water pourer in it. That went from where the sink was about 8 feet, 6 feet maybe, at least 6 feet, I'd say, to the bathtub, ended up inside the bathtub broken. Like someone took their hand and just like threw it there. How does it do that? How does it go from a sink top all the way across the room into a bathtub on an angle? At least
Yeah. And,
5 feet, if not
go
six.
ahead. Hmm.
Yeah.
That when it comes to paranormal, that's actually very common. And why is this not working?
Okay,
Sorry, I'm trying
so
to multitask.
paranormal.
Uh, yeah, because and well, Supernatural will do it too. If you remember when I did that show on Poltergeist, we was experiencing that, and I can show that video here in a minute.
I don't think I.
Um, Hey, real quick, Roxanne, that code I just put up is the new mailing address. I forgot to send that to you. I just remembered that I got that confirmed. So that code I put up is for the PO box if somebody has something to send me. Sorry. Yeah, let me find that real quick.
Should I shut off my
I can put that
microphone?
up. You can if you want. I don't know how to act. Usually it doesn't have that bad of an issue unless you got like your sound all the way up. Okay, let me see if I can find a video real quick. Okay, so let me look under show materials. There we go. And whoa, so it's not in show materials either. Okay, let me look under ghost. It might be under ghost. Okay, so let me get it's not under show materials. Let me go up here to ghost. Okay, yeah, it's in ghost. Okay, let me get this set up and I'll share a stream. Echo, sorry about that, Don. I don't know what's going on. This thing will do good and all of a sudden it doesn't. So I'm still working on the sound. Let me get this set up and ready. Come on, baby, load up. Okay. I don't know if this is going to have sound or not because it's the first time me playing it with the soundboard. But the sound's not as important as what I'm wanting to show. And this has actually got a bathroom scene that deals with the poltergeist. So I'm kind of curious if this is what you're talking about. Here we go. Watch that sink. So we'll go ahead and cut it off there. Is that kind of what you was talking about when you seen that pop out like that?
Well, um, you see where the sink is? The
Mm-hmm.
bathtub was across from the sink on the other wall, not to the right
Right.
of it. Like the sink was in that video. It was like further away, and it went
Yeah.
from the sink into the bathtub. Yeah, I couldn't
Yeah.
tell
No,
where.
what I was talking about is how it came up. You seen how that stuff came out and came down?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Don, is that echo better? Um, yeah. So that's a poltergeist. Now, poltergeist is paranormal, but it's a more aggressive paranormal. So you have different levels of paranormal activity.
Right.
Your least is going to be like a residual haunt. Basically, it's like a memory playing over and over and over. It has no intelligence. It doesn't interact. It doesn't know you're there.
Like my mom's
Residual haunt.
house.
Mm-hmm. If it's doing that, that's going to be most likely a residual haunt. That's like a memory that's constantly playing over and over and over. Um, then you have what's a typical haunt, which is they're intelligent. Um, they can interact with you. Sometimes it's hard for them to manifest. Sometimes it's hard for them to move, and that's going to be your most common. As far as intelligent haunts go, that's going to be your most common experience when you're dealing with paranormal. Then you got the ones that can actually move things and manifest. So that's going to be, that takes more energy to do that. And then you got the level of that, which is poltergeist, where it's throwing stuff. It's more angry. It's more violent liking. Um, it's that is a different level. How far you are from your mic and how that. Yeah, that's why I had to kind of move that mic close to me. I hate having it there in the screenshot, but that's why I had the mic right here, Don. Uh, um, but yeah, so that's going to be your different levels. So like that one with the fog, that's probably going to be a class 3. You can manifest. This is how I. This is not. This is not how they're classed. This is just how I say it, like a class 3, which is it's intelligent. It's got a lot of energy and it's able to manifest. And it started out in the fog and formed into a human shape. It takes a lot of energy to do that. So if you notice, like when I'm doing investigations, I've got electronic devices, and I tell them, I don't never tell them to take energy from me. I don't do that because that can lead to some very bad stuff. Um, yeah. Um, so that's always say, I've got plenty of devices here. If you need to borrow energy to talk to me or to manifest, take the energy from this equipment. Um, and I know a lot of people on YouTube or the boob tube will tell you, you need energy, borrow from me. No, I will never do that because you're inviting that thing to um, attach itself to you, and I don't want that to happen. So I don't do that. Plus, you don't know. Sometimes something supernatural can seem nice, but it's trying to work its way to you. And then once it's latched onto you, once it's doing what it wants to do, it can turn very violent very quick. So if it's going to turn violent and destroy something, I'd rather it be my equipment than hurt me or whoever's with me. So that's why I always say you can borrow energy from my devices. And then at the end of an investigation, that's why you always hear me say, you do not have my permission to attach yourself to me or any of my equipment. Once I leave this doors of this place, you have to remain here. And that's very, very important to do that. So when you got something throwing something off of a sink or manifesting as a fog and into human form, that takes a lot of energy. So I mean, that'd be your next level up. That's going to be like a 3. It's the third stage of its level, its ability. That's pretty interesting. And that's actually considered an apparition, and apparitions are very rare in the paranormal field. 90, I'd say somewhere between 94 to 97% of paranormal you're going to catch is going to be mostly audio, maybe some shadow work. Another 2% to 3% on top of that's going to be definitely shadowy or a fog, like you was talking about. And the last percentage of it's going to be an actual full body detailed apparition. So I'd say you definitely had something paranormal. Have you ever had something fly at you, go through a closed window? 3 guys shot at it. It was going through the window at the. I don't. I've had stuff fly at me. Yes. So, but most of the time when it's come at me, Don, I could only feel it. Like last weekend when I had that cold breeze that shot over my left shoulder, and then you was hearing running in the house. That is the most of it that I capture, but I've had like a ball of light roughly that big fly at my chest, and then I actually fell backwards on the ground and slid. Thing reached me and went above. Joanne, oh, I lost you. Hey, Melissa. Yes, EVP. Joanne, if you're still in the chat, sorry I lost you, but thank you for sharing. So, but yeah, so yeah, that's most of what I've had experienced when I do paranormal stuff. Yeah, it's so I mean I have seen shadow and fog apparitions go through walls, doors, windows. I mean through a lot of stuff. And I've seen full bodies do it too. And but I've not really had a whole lot coming right at me that I've seen. If you want to come on, Dawn, and share this, I'm kind of interested in this. I can send that link again. You can come on if you want to be hidden. I can hide your video like I did with Joanne, and then you can come on and share that if you want. This black thing looked like a person. Yeah, so that's a shadow figure. Yeah. And a shadow figure, I mean, that's going to be either something supernatural, paranormal. There is paranormal that is very shadow like. Um, but there's also that supernatural. I mean, William and I's talked about it a few times. Jessica's talked about it. DA and them's talked about it too. There is shadow people that is very, very supernatural and very, very unfriendly. You're shooting at it with a 12 gauge shotguns, and holy crap, you never, yeah, and it went right through it. Wow. I mean, yeah, that freak. I can see how that freaks somebody out. I mean, and I still get freaked out moments on paranormal, especially if something comes out of nowhere and you're not expecting it. I mean, I've had moments where I about pissed my pants because something came out. Blah, you know, it happens, or something gets thrown and it caught. Because I don't use lights when I'm investigating. If you notice in all my investigations, I don't have lights on because there's so many times that you miss something because you have a light on. So whenever I'm walking around a building in the middle of the night, I'm actually looking through my camera, and my night vision on my camera is what I'm using to find my way around the location I'm doing an investigation at. And the window didn't get broken. Oh wow. Yeah, that's and that's, I mean, I've heard of that. You're not the only one that's had an encounter like that. So I mean that is wicked cool. But if it came at you, so I'll take it that it was very aggressive when it came at you, or it just scared the hell out of you. When you're talking about you were shooting at it with the 12 gauges and the 357, or was it a 357? Did I mistaken myself? Let me scroll back up. Yeah, 357. Um, was it aggressive, or did it just freak you out? Oh, Urso's talk about something I've missed. Ever see someone who has missed rising? Yeah, I have. Yeah, definitely. Great job. Hey, Kyle. Thank you for sharing, Joanne. I was hoping to see her in the chat. I mean, it could be that freaky. It could be that. Normally, um, if you're dealing with um, paranormal or supernatural, and they got like what looks like steam coming off of them, it's like an energy release because they're trying to hold their shape. Probably more common in paranormal, but I've seen it other ways too. There you go, Joanne. Thank you for coming on, sweetheart. I'm sorry you had to get off there, but thank you for sharing. That was a awesome experience for sharing. I'm totally excited about that. I was waiting to see, waiting to hear Don's comment on what the shadow figure was like. And like I said, if you want to come on, Don, let me know. I'll put that link back in there. You can come on. You can be visible, or we can hide your face like we did with Joanne. I have no issue with that, and I respect that. The house upstairs was covered in cut up dolls with blood. Oh, what was the energy of that place? You got me completely intrigued. What was the energy of that place? Oh, you don't have a mic? That's fine. It was bad. We went there because it was haunted. Oh, so nobody was living in it? Yeah, I mean, because that's almost sounding something like maybe witchcraft or satanic. That's why I was wondering. Because it's starting to sound like maybe something supernatural. Interesting. And I've been in places like that, so I mean, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh. So I can say your nerves are probably on fire in that place. We read lips. Man. So I'm almost speculating that it was probably coming at you aggressively then, yeah. Man, that still could be paranormal. But I'm starting to lean probably towards something supernatural if it's got that kind of stuff going on up there. That's usually associated with witchcraft or mainly demonic worship or devil worship. Some people were fixing it up every day when they left. Everything that they did was torn up. So it was aggressive. Man, I'm starting to lean more towards something demonic. I mean, it could be a poltergeist. It very well could be a poltergeist, and so that's the thing with poltergeist hauntings. Poltergeist hauntings can seem very demonic. Um, they're the strongest of the paranormal side of it, but man, I'm really thinking that's something supernatural. Paneling ripped off the wall. Wow. So I mean that thing was extremely aggressive. Oh man. Well, hopefully it'll fix itself. Yeah, I've been having issues with my computer today. I had to do a hard reset because it wouldn't reset. So I may have to do another reset on it. Got 8 likes. Thank you guys. So it's ripping panel off. It's man coming at you at a man. Don, I'm pretty convinced that's probably something supernatural, demonic. Giving all the clues you've said about that place. Hey, William, you just missed Joanne's. Joanne had a really good experience, and then now we're talking about Dawn's. I had Joanne on. She came on live and was talking about her fog experience. And man, it was great. You're going to have to go back and look at that again, William. They finally moved in the house into the house because there were thinking kids weren't ripping it up after that. Yeah, and the thing, so A lot of people don't understand this. I've talked about this before. Um, no worries, William. No worries. Um, when you own the home, you have the power in that home. So if I'm going in and somebody calls me and, hey man, I got this going on in my house. I need to know what's going on. If I try to evict that spirit, good, bad, in between, or ugly, the good, the bad, and the ugly, um, I want the owners with me because even though the owners give me permission to do that, which I can't do it without their permission, they have to give me permission. If they don't give me permission, I do not have the power. Um, so when I go in to do that stuff, I like to have them with me because with their power and them giving me the power to do it makes that ability much stronger. And it can be done by myself, but sometimes it takes more than one session to do it, especially if I'm by myself. I mean, it could take more than one with the owners with me too, but the power is a lot more stronger with the owners because the owners own the power of the place. After they moved in, it ripped the panel off the walls and threw it at them. Oh yeah, it's sounding. Oh, that's awesome. You did a great job, Joanne. You did a great job. Hold on one. Sorry, the dogs are carrying on. Um, Man, yeah, Don, I'm going to say that's probably something demonic. Thanks for sharing that, man. That is wicked cool. Anything else happened that night when you was there? Yes, that does happen too. Yes, it does. It really does. During broad day, that's not a good sign, Roxanne. Yeah, normally they're brought in. So now, when you're dealing with like jinn, jinn is a type of demonic deal. Oh man, that's headless dolls floating around. Mm. Yeah, I wish you could email me that. I'd turn that into a video. That man, nothing's gonna freak you out till you see something floating around. And I've been dealing with this stuff since I was 3 years old. Dealing with paranormal, and I still, man, something floating around when I'm there freaks me out. Even I'm like, oh shit, because what's going through my head when I see that is this thing going to be nice? Is it going to be an ass? I mean, what's going to happen here? And that's usually what's running through my head. Oh my gosh, man, doll heads floating around. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely something demonic. Hey, you got a monster gangster rap song? Oh, I so got to hear that. Oh, this is when you was 16 or 17. Oh man, that's still cool. I mean, hey, Monisha, how's it going? Yeah, man, that is wicked cool. That is really, really wicked cool. Wow. Oh, that is yeah. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, it's. I mean, and I love doing paranormal. I mean, paranormal. I love it all. I mean, I love investigating this stuff, all every bit of it. But man, paranormal, you just don't know what's going to happen because you don't know if you're going in and is this actually a paranormal haunt or is this a supernatural haunt? You just don't know. Like I was getting ready to talk about the jinn. Jinn is definitely something very demonic. That's just my belief. Jinn will purposely take over a home. Uh, oh, yes, William, definitely. Yes, definitely. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Yes, I want to go so bad. But a jinn is one of those things, supernatural wise, that will purposely take over a home. And I love watching the videos of those people over in the Middle East going in and looking at a jinn possessed home. Um, Jinns are very violent, very, very violent. When I did that poltergeist episode, I showed the videos of a jinn haunt and a poltergeist haunt and the similarities between the two. If you actually study jinn haunts and experience jinn haunts, and you study poltergeist haunts and um, all that, the similarities between the two are so very close. Jinn's a lot more evil though. That I've heard that, Roxanne. Yeah, I have heard that. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that. I mean, there's been a few deaths on that island from people going there and visiting. There it is. How to get my water? Yeah. So I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's really cool when you see this stuff. There's it's for somebody who hasn't done it. It is hard to know the difference between a paranormal haunt and a supernatural haunt. And but once you do it enough, you'll get to know. And one of the things, we'll talk a little bit about this on tomorrow's show, is the energy of the area. The energy of the area is going to tell you a lot of it too. I didn't see that one, Joanne. I need to find that one. Yeah, I definitely get find that one. I had to get in trouble for drawing my. Yeah, I know. Can't say that wouldn't happen to me either. I think I heard that some folks who visit the Doll Island bring a doll. Yes, they do. That happens a lot. People bring more dolls on. That's why it keeps growing in population, which the population is the dolls. Is because people bring more dolls for that little girl. Yeah. I want to go there. I really do. I would love to be there overnight. I mean, I've seen Expedition X and even Josh Gates do a paranormal investigation on that island, and man, there was a lot of strange stuff going on there. And another thing that will freak you out, man, and I've had this happen where you get dolls when you're doing a paranormal investigation. And this is probably the reason why I get freaked out at dolls, because I've seen this happen a few times. Is you'll be sitting there doing an investigation and you're looking at this doll, and all of a sudden the doll will either blink at you or turn its head. Holy crap, that will freak you out every damn time. When I between 15 and 18, I had a lot of stuff happen, even chased by a ghost car. Man, we got a place out here. I can't remember exactly where it's at, but you put your car in neutral and it's a level ground and won't move. And we've even put flyer on the hood, on the trunk of the car, and on the ground, and done this because people said you'll see it, so we wanted to try it. All of a sudden there'll be two little handprint or two sets of little handprints and feet in the flyer, and your car will start moving. Yeah, ghost cars, ghost trains, and stuff like that. I've had one night I was laying in bed and I felt something weird, and it woke me up, and literally had a skeleton on a horse come through my bedroom, stop at the foot of my bed, scream at me, and ride off. To the Warren's Haunted Museum and sleep. Oh yes, definitely, yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. That would be fun too. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, man, there's some freaky stuff. But I was, man, I think I was around 16 when that skeleton rode through my bedroom and stopped at the foot of my waterbed and just screamed at me and then rode off. Hey, George, how's it going? Good, it worked. Yeah. That's my new P.O. box. If you guys want to send a letter or send something, you can send it to P.O. Box 86, Buffalo, Missouri 65622. You just got home from the pub. You didn't get pissed, did you, George? I remember that time I was in Australia and we were at Club New York in Brisbane, Australia, Club New York. And I was in there drinking with a bunch of Aussies and like, you want to get pissed, mate? And I was like, man, no, I don't want to get mad. He goes, no, mate, get pissed, get pissed. I was like, nah, dude, I don't want to get mad. I want to drink and have a good time. He goes, no, mate, get pissed and get drunk. Man, we were drinking VB like crazy, and then all of a sudden we got in a big ass brawl. Hey, Carl, you finally get your phone working? We got in a big ass brawl, and all of a sudden that bartender was ringing the bell in that pub, going, "Bloody hell, this yank can fight!" It was just, oh man, it was a weird day. That was a fun time though. Anybody remember that TV show in the '70s with the possessed tiki doll? Damn, that vaguely sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. I need to look that up. That sounds familiar, William. But and so, and that's the thing. I mean, supernatural or paranormal can attach these things to objects. What was? Did I miss it? Huh? Oh, dude, I missed the Twilight Zone. Gosh, I missed the Twilight Zone. I saw a night gallery or Twilight Zone when a fairly young and a voodoo doll made by witch. Oh, hey Val, trilogy of horror. Yeah. Did you try to do a update or a reset on it, Carl? Sometimes you gotta shut it off and do a hard reset. Christy, I don't know. This every time I mess with it, it'll fix it and then it goes back to doing it again. Can you guys hear me better? I turned my D noise on to see if that helps. I don't know if that helped or not. I turned my D noise on. Yeah, it's always done that too, freaky, and that's one of the things with the soundboard I was trying to do is get rid of that, but I'm still trying to figure it out. I actually have no idea how to work these things, so I'm learning as I go. I am not technologically smart. but hopefully that denoise help. We this is where this show, the Saturday show, Christy, is where you get to share your experiences. So if you got an experience you want to share, I can bring you on live. If you want your face to be hidden, we can hit in the face or not. It don't matter. Or we can just talk about it in chat. That's what the Saturday shows are about. It's the old way, little brother. I'd love to sing, have a pint or sit and have a pint with black stuff with you and William. Hell yeah. And Ryan and DA and Robbie. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah. I had a lot of fun in Australia. I had a lot of fun in Australia. Yeah. Since you're uh, since you're from Missouri, you know much history of Shannon County. I don't get people to talk very easily. Um, trying to remember. Oh, thank you, Roxanne. Uh, yeah, let me get. So we're going to do one of my. We'll do Saga Grimson Book One commercial today, Roxanne. Let me get that done real quick, and then we will get back to the stuff right here. Let me pull that up here. If you would like to find my books, you can find them on Amazon. Look up e.d.testament. I have a author's fan page on Amazon. If you follow that, anytime I release a book, it will let you know before anybody else. You can also find my books on audios. Three different audio platforms. All but two of my books currently are out on audio right now. One of them is in, or two of them are in the process. So if you go there and please, by all means, leave comments and likes and star it and let me know how my books are. That helps me to get my books out to everybody else. Shannon County, Shannon County. I'm trying to remember Shannon County. Yes, the hard reset, but always learning nowadays towards something suspicious going on. That could be, yeah. That could be. Normally, what I got to do is either got to check for an update or do a hard reset, and that usually fixes mine. I need to get more adventurous, and have adventure. It's hard, and I pre I have to put this out there. Use extreme caution. Don't be like me. Man, I'm sorry, guys. Don't be like me and go out by yourself. I mean, I've done it for so long. Um, and it's not smart, especially considering I can't move like I used to. So even now, it's even worse for me. I shouldn't be doing that, even though I catch myself doing it. Uh, definitely take somebody very knowledgeable with you when you go out. I, I, I advise that very, very strongly. If you're inexperienced with doing this stuff, do not go out by yourself. There is too many bad things out there. If you get in my videos and you look up where I was doing the initial investigation of the werewolf slash dog man, I got ran out of the woods because something out there was very, very evil and something was trying to get me. And the more I ignored it and the more I didn't do what it wanted me to do, the more violent it became. That's why I unasked the AO quick. Uh, I quickly unasked the AO on that one because I knew if I didn't, something very bad was about to happen. Uh, but I encourage you to go out there, Christy. Definitely go out there and look. Just take somebody experienced with you. I need to look up Shannon Valley or Shannon County because that's bothering me. I know Shannon County. I'm wanting to say that's St. Joe where I'm from, but I keep telling myself I'm wrong. If I can get this thing to work. Of course, it's going to be a pain in the butt. I don't know why I'm thinking Shannon County is St. Joe, Missouri, where I'm from. And I could be wrong. Heck yeah, Roxanne. Heck yeah. I'm really leery of dolls. They creep me out most of the time. There's always some kind of weirdness. Probably me. No, I mean, there is a lot of weird stuff that attaches itself to dolls. Yeah. Yeah. Not, yeah. It's very important. I'm looking up Shannon County. My computer is just being really, really slow and a pain in the butt today. I mean, I've got to fix it because I'm trying to get some work done and everything else. Birch Tree area mainly. Yeah. Eminence. Oh, Eminence. Oh. Eminence. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's done. Yeah. Definitely right. Summersville kind of area, Alley Springs. Not far from Ozark National Scenic Rivers. So it's not too far from the Arkansas border. That's why it sounds familiar. I'm trying to remember what other towns is around there. Oh, thanks, Joanne. Yeah. So in that area there, I'm trying to go off of memory, Allie. Um, that area there, memory serves me correctly. There is a lot of Bigfoot activity in that area. And I'm wanting to say, if I remember correctly, um, I think that was a really big Osage. Trying to remember off the top of my head. I want to say it was. I want to say Osage was pretty heavy in that area. Multi generational, keep it, yeah, tight lips about almost everything, always the outsiders. So, and that's the thing, like where I live at, the only reason why people open up to me is because, well, I've lived here for 33 years. So, um, you know, I'm kind of known in this area. So that's why people open up to me better. But there's a lot of places, a lot of areas that is that way. If you're an outsider, they absolutely will not talk to you about anything. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I want to say, man. I mean, that's definitely well within the Ozark mountain range. I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. I haven't been around Eminence in so long. I'm trying to remember everything off the top of my head. I think I was, I was either pre 20 or in my early 20s the last time I was there. I ain't had a strawberry shortcake in a coon's age. Oh, sorry about that, William. Yeah, there were some troubled boys at school, found some bones around and tons of supernatural activity. Yeah, yeah, I need to look into it. It's been so long. I can't remember. Uh, I'm trying to remember if there's a bunch of uh, dogmen down in there in Ozark Howler too. I wanted to say possibly even Ozark Howler. So this area was predominantly Osage. There was other tribes in this area, but most of it was Osage back in there. Oh my gosh! Oh yeah, man. No worries, Allie. But I'm trying, like I said, I'm reaching back 20 years worth of knowledge here. I'm trying to reach back to, and I am pretty convinced. Turn my music and my mic down, see if that helps any. Uh, I am pretty convinced that that is a very heavily big-footed area. Um, definitely a lot of paranormal in that area. I do remember that. There is a lot of paranormal in that area. Supernatural wise, I can't remember, but where it's located at, what's around there, very high probability of supernatural activity as well. Kind of looking around there on the map right now. That is definitely squatchy. So I mean, Ozark Howler. Um, Coon tastes good, Christy. Coon tastes really, really good. If you're not careful, don't fix it right though. It's really greasy. I had some black, long-haired dog that came, but was aloft, silent, and still. Damn, that's. Can you describe that long-haired dog a little bit better? Curiosity's coming up on that. Because that kind of fits a couple different things. Well, I didn't want to say that. Black wolf, okay. Because there's another thing that has long black hair too, Roxanne. That's why I was kind of curious on more of a detail on it. Yeah, I would definitely say Dogman because Dogman is very prominent here in Missouri. Uh, really, and right where I live too. Where I live is very heavily reported of Bigfoot and Dogman. Now, a lot of times our reports don't get put online because we don't trust organizations. Plus, people don't like to speak out loud because of that was another one that I was looking at too because I've seen the hellhound out here, and I've seen the ghost dog out here too. So, and hellhound has been spotted in those areas. Hellhound has been very much spotted in the areas. So that's why I was kind of getting that way. I accidentally crept up where it was sleeping on the rocks. It had quietly bounced away. I was feeding one of my window a few nights ago. It sunk like roadkill. Later on, the skunk came for her snack, and she has zero smell. Interesting. Yeah, and so I can't give an exact location, but I will tell you, um, it's not in that area. It's in that same level, but not in that area. As soon as I get my vehicle back to running right again, which I'm looking at $6,900 to get it running right again, I've got to get back into this area. Uh, I am currently in the middle of a werewolf slash dogman investigation. I thought I had that turned off. Yeah, my reverb's off. Yeah, my reverb's all the way off. It was very large, never looked my way, but stood at the wood's edge. Long tail. Yeah, yeah, man. Wolf like, long black hair, long tail. I'm going to say that's dog man. Yeah, it was pretty fluffy. Ooh, are you poking fun at me? Uh, your skunk is glamorous. I have a squatch or something here. My adult son said he saw a squatch when he went out to pee at night. Yeah, I did a show, and my good brother William, who's in the chat, came on with me because I had a really loud wolf howl to the north of me, and then like a split second later, a bunch of really loud coyotes going crazy to the south of me. I was caught in between them, and they were close. Uh, And so I got the parabolic mic out, and I went to recording, which I have a digital recorder hooked to my parabolic mic, and I caught Bigfoot talking, Bigfoot chatter, whoops, and howls. Bigfoot is so in mostly here in South Missouri, Bigfoot's known as a booger, but they have other names too because you got Blue Man, and you got some other names for them as well. But yes, they're very predominant in this area. Yeah. Would you be interested on coming on and talking about that stuff, Allie? Yeah, I agree. It sounds like a dog man. But I would love to hear more about this stuff here. I'm even interested in coming in that area and taking a look around. Okay, let me put the link back in for you. I'll have to get my headphones back on too. Thank you, Larry. Man, you're badass. I appreciate you. $10 super sticker for Larry. Hey everyone, happy Saturday. Thanks for coming in, Larry. Appreciate you, buddy. Uh, yeah, hit that link, Allie. And before I bring you on, I will hide your face and do like we did with Joanne. I'm actually really what you're talking about. I'm very interested in coming down there and looking into that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm having a lot of internet issues, Larry. Uh, I've been having issues all day with it. I've got a clear sky, so I don't know why it's messing up the way it is. I don't. It's aggravating the tar out of me. But from what I hear, I'm not the only one that's been having issues with their stuff too. Even Williams had issues with his too. I didn't. I have not touched it besides combing. Uh, Trying to see if I missed anything while I'm waiting on Allie to come on. Uh, yeah, I bet the only really difference between my goatees is starting to get more gray in it. I'm like, damn it. I went so long without getting the grayness and it's starting to attack me. That link that I shared up there, Allie, right above when Don said, hey, Larry, you'll see a Talk Studio Streamlabs link. I need you to click that one and I'll bring you on. And then I'll hide your video so it's only your voice that can be heard. I wonder if I turn the volume down on the screen, if that would help. Moved it a little bit, see if that helps. But yeah, looking over that area, man, I'm pretty convinced that's uh, trying to think who I know lives Yeah, it got real glitchy on me. I don't know what's happening to it. Can you hear me now? Is that better now? Oh, thank you, Joanne. You're awesome. You're badass. You're flying in the air with a red cape and a smile on his face. Thank you. What is going on with this stupid thing? Okay. Give me a second, Allie. Let's see. It's not showing. So I may not have to hit that because it's not showing you. It's not giving me a video deal anyway, so that's good. Hey, Allie, how's it going? Oops, hold on. Again. Oops. I know what I did. Let's try that again. See if that fixed it. Let's try that. Damn it. Trying to get this fixed real quick if you can hear me. I can't hear nothing. Oh shit, did I turn this one? Nope, it's up. Why should not give me a wireless? Can you guys hear me in the chat? Hey, how's it going? That's right. That's right. Turn the mic up. That's up. Music's up. So why can I not hear anything? You guys can hear me. Oh, this stupid internet. Well, Allie, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I turned everything up so because I thought I couldn't hear her. So I turned everything up, so I don't know what's going on. Should be able to hear her because it's still set on everything I had set with Joanne. So for some reason, I still can't hear her. My internet started freaking out real bad. I'm trying to get it switched over to my deal here, and it's fighting me tooth and nail on it. For some reason, it will not let me switch off of what I'm already on. Oh, okay, Allie. Okay, good. The video's off. The video's
Can you
already
hear me
off. Can
now?
you say something?
Yeah,
I can hear you now. Okay, good.
Sorry, that was on my end.
Oh, no worries. Turn that down a little bit. Try to keep it from. Um, so yeah, let's hear more what you was talking about in that chat.
Yeah, well, I moved to this property 7 years ago, and like almost immediately stuff started happening. So I kind of asked around, and you would see different things like for people that acknowledge, like you'd see Sasquatch stickers, and then the one place in town had up something about if you don't believe in Bigfoot, he won't believe in you. And then when I had a guy working on my property, he said 3 times, like, all of the flags were taken down, along the property line, but nobody ever elaborates on anything, and I really wanted to know the history of the area, of the property, but I can't get one person to talk, and some of these older people, they're dying off quickly, so you lose that history.
Yeah, you do, and that's
And
why
so
this show is what it is. So that's why I like having this.
yeah, but I don't know. I mean, one time I found what looked to be footprints, but they looked too thin to me. And they were real light. They weren't deep in the surface, but I live on mostly all rocks, so that wouldn't surprise me. However, the other stuff that goes on, there's really no explanation for because I don't have neighbors. And it's pretty constant. Like the other day, one of my buckets for my goat feed was taken off of the fence and gone when I went to take a nap. And then I contact my neighbor. I said, "Hey, if you see a turquoise bucket down there, can you let me know?" And the next day, it was on my fence, like stuck in one of the other buckets hanging there. I mean, just nonsense. Almost like if you would think of teenage kind of stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, juvenile Bigfoot have been known to play pranks. Uh,
Yeah.
so that
But when
it's
I when I first moved here, I lived at the bottom of the property, and the activity was far more because I actually was surrounded by trees more so. When I moved to the top of the property, I had some land cleared for my goats for out back. But the one night, the freakiest thing that ever happened was my my room, like the whole room lit up orange outside the window, and then all of a sudden, this big orange orb, like the size of a basketball, came inside and kind of stopped right at the foot of my bed. It was like to the left side of the bed, and the bed was on the wall to the right, and the head of the bed. So two sides of the bed were against the wall, So I was just staring at the sword thinking, okay, what the heck's going on? But I mean, I didn't freak out because it had already been quite a while that I was here that weird stuff was going on. And when I looked over against the wall, there was like an outline of a just black, completely black, like it looked like the body of a human, like from the waist up, but it was too high. And I'm thinking, okay, if this is the Sasquatch, are they projected through the wall? Like, what is going on here? And I finally just got disgusted and turned over and went to sleep because I'm thinking, I don't know what to make of this, and I don't really understand what their whole point contact is. I don't bother them. I haven't like destroyed the other 20 some acres that are here, but they would come up and sit behind the cabin and clang rocks together, you know. One time I thought I thought they were poachers at first because I would hear stuff down behind the pond and see like white, I guess they were orbs. I thought they were headlamps, and I would run down there, but nobody'd be there. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, all kind of stuff has went on since I've been here, but I can't really make
So,
much sense.
mhm, sorry.
That's okay. No, the latest thing they do is like I said, up where I'm living now, there's not there's it's still surrounded by woods, but trees aren't butt up against my house. And the only thing, the most obvious thing was the one night I couldn't sleep a lot because, like I was mentioning, I have health issues too that keep me awake, and so I have a ramp going up to my front door, and all of a sudden I heard boom, boom, and a few seconds later, the third boom. And the weird stuff is, all this stuff always happens in threes, and I never believed in the paranormal, never had any reason to look for it or look at it because I grew up in a very rural type area with that not city, but kind of suburb mentality. So
Mhm.
it was all like just put in front of me when I came here. So I've just been trying to make sense out of it ever since.
So I don't know where you moved from to down there, but one thing about the Ozark Mountains is the Ozark Mountains is one of the oldest mountain ranges, if not the oldest mountain range in the world. It's just been eroded down over millions and millions of years. There's a lot of magic in these mountains, a lot of faith in these mountains, and faith is known to be attached to orbs. Spirits have been known to be attached to orbs. UFOs have been known to attach to orbs. And one thing we have here in South Missouri is we have a lot of cryptids, a lot of paranormal, a lot of supernatural, and a lot of UFO activity. And a lot of stuff that you're talking about, I've experienced here on my own property. Um, I've had the giant balls of white light coming at me, and then stop right above my chest and shoot up in the air. I mean, I've seen things that look like fairies. I mean, there's types of fairies that are orb like. Your pixies, your dowries, stuff like that. They are known to be orb like. Then there's also a lot of orb activity dealing with paranormal and supernatural as well. So orbs is very common here. Cryptids very common here. I mean, all that stuff is. And like I said, I don't know where you came from, so I don't know if you know. So the history of the Ozarks. There's, one of the things I was kind of worried about was the Ozark Howler, uh, which is very prominent in this area. I've had a recent sighting not far from my house of an Ozark Howler, probably 15 miles from my house. There's been an Ozark Howler sighting. Uh, and Bigfoot has been. There's so many, so many, so many stories of encounters of Bigfoot throughout this area, Dogman included. In the area that you're in, when I was looking at it on the map because I was trying to remember, prime, prime area for Dogman and Bigfoot, but it's also prime area for the Fae. Um, so I don't know how much you know about Fae. Fae or your fairy folk are the Fae, or type of Fae. There's many different types of Fae, but they're supernatural entities, and they've been known to be very mischievous or helpful, depending on what you do. Now, you said if I remember right, you said you was clearing some land out, cleaning some trees out, or something like that.
Yeah, I cleared only 2 acres of 24, and it's right directly behind my house because I have goats on the property. Now, something has been messing with the babies. They take them and hide them from me. So, my goal was to actually try to they're meat goats, so I had got them for the purpose of selling them, but I'm afraid to actually put up enough fencing to go farther than what I can see because of, sometimes the gates will be undone and left open. The electric fence will get turned off. The electric fencing actually has been stretched about 3 feet in certain areas, and people said to me, "Well, that's probably deer jumping over them." I said, "Okay, well, I'll accept that, but combined with everything else, I don't think so, not so much." Like the past 2 nights when I woke up, all of my does were taken out of the second paddock and put up by the house, but the buck was left down in the other paddock and the paddock gate was still closed. You know, so it makes me question how far I should go in use of this property other than just a place to live.
Yeah. So if that property hasn't been worked in a long time, and say Bigfoot came in and established a living arrangement there, and then you come in and uh, undermine that, that's going to cause them to act out. They will act out. Uh, but one of the best things you can do is, for one, you got to establish, hey, this is, I live here too. Let's live together in harmony. Uh, but you need to, you need to make it known. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to take away from you. But you also have to be very careful because that's a double-edged sword. Because in a way, doing that, you can also bring a lot of havoc on you as well. It is just really it's the mentality of them and how they are, is how they're going to react to that. I've lived with mine for 33 years, and I've not had an issue with them. They're they're here as of recently. They're here all year round, where before they were only here from mid to late fall to early to mid spring. And since my mom's passed away and my dad's moved out, and I bought the property. They're here 24/7. I mean, I go out all year round and find footprints and stuff like that. Um, as far as the depth of the footprint, I know what you're talking about because I live up in the mountain areas too, and it's very hard to get footprints from me here. I don't know. I've showed them many times on the shows. The type of footprints I get. They're not. They're very rarely are they deep because the ground is so hard. If you get a good rain or snow, that is mainly when you're going to get a deep footprint in the terrain that we have here. So now, on top of that, with clearing those trees out, if you had they living in them trees and you cut them out, you can piss them off, which would cause them to do stuff like that too. Uh,
Hmm.
and it's very common as well because there is the dryads live in trees, and that's a type of fae, a type
Funny
of
you
fairy.
say
They
that
live in
because
trees.
it's funny you say that because the spring after the ground was cleared and then we went into fall, and then in the spring, the trees that are directly in front of my house, it sounded like three of them were talking to each other, like actually talking to each
Mm,
other. It was so bizarre, and I'm thinking, what is
mm,
going on here? You know.
yeah. Well, and so I mean, trees have souls. They have a language. They have a spirit. They're a living, breathing, beating life. And trees are known to talk. Everything will talk. You just got to learn how to listen. So most common way of knowing if you have a fae living in your tree is if it has like a human face feature to it. That is the most common way of knowing if you have a fae living inside the tree. That's why I'm not big on Bigfoots doing wood knocks because it is very well known, not just through Native American culture, but cultures around this world. You don't knock on trees because you can upset the fae that live in that tree.
Hmm.
So I don't see Bigfoot going around knocking on trees because they're going to know that just as well as we do. So probably
Yeah,
they'll know it
I've
better.
never tried that.
Yeah, I don't whistle at night. Absolutely, whatever you do not whisper or whistle at night. If you hear something in the woods calling to you that sounds familiar,
Oh
unless
yeah,
you can
they
actually see
scream
them,
my name.
and don't follow it. Don't reply to it. Do not follow it. That could be there's supernatural entities out there that use that ability to take it. So
Yeah. Well, I
don't
know
ever
it's
do
not a
that.
person because nobody lives here but me. So the next neighbor over is an older couple, and they're about maybe half a mile to three quarters of a mile away. So
Mhm. And another
anyway,
thing they'll do is they'll cry out like a woman screaming for help or like a baby crying. Now these,
yeah,
I
I
mean,
got
some of
woke up
Chris,
at 3 a.m. the other day. With I thought one of my baby goats was in trouble because that's exactly what the screaming sounded like. And when I came outside, it was coming from the woods to my left and not down by the barn to my right. And I almost went dashing off into the woods thinking something had one of the baby goats, but then I got smart and said, "No, let me go down to the barn and see how many babies are there and what's going on first." And then that though, I mean legitimately could have been a baby deer because I didn't know that they made noises like that. So I googled it to try to hear what kind of noises baby deer made. And so I'm just thinking, well, if it's a baby deer, I don't know why I'd be screaming at 3 a.m., but
a bobcat
they,
will do it, a coyote will do it, a cryptid would do it, a supernatural entity would do it. There's many things that
yeah,
make that sound. Um, but generally at night, I'd be very leery about it at night. I mean, I know how pets are, but even I don't go tramps in the woods at night on a sound that I think it's this because I know what's out there, and they use this type of technique to take you, and you'll never be seen again.
yeah,
So
I heard that
it's really
because
important.
when
Mhm.
I thought I heard puppies one night howling and howling, and a lot of time I do get beagles out here because people turn them loose for hunting, and they
Good.
end up
Yep.
lost. Or I mean, one time it was February; they were half frozen. So
Mhm.
I have a tendency to, if I hear something like that, to look, but I didn't go because it was way down at the bottom of the property. And my property backs up. It actually had been owned by one of the mills, and he's got thousands of acres out here. But this certain area was cut down and sold off, and that's a piece of the property that I got.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of interested. Man, I'd love to come down there and kind of check out things. That's going to give me a better feel of what's in that area. But going off what you told me, man, it's sounded like you probably got paranormal, supernatural, and cryptid activity all together at the same time going on there, which is not uncommon out here. It's not uncommon at all here. That
Well,
happens more times than people realize.
yeah, I mean, if you ever did want to come down, I can email you my um,
Yeah,
actual location, and then you can verify it's something you'd be interested in, and I'll send you my phone number if you wanted to reach out.
yeah, we'll do that. And as soon as I get a chance to get a vehicle running good enough, I'm definitely. I mean, I may bring Da with me or something if he's
Yeah.
interested. I may just pop a ride with him and come down and check it out.
Okay. I am. Yeah, and I'm at the very edge of the property, like it's between two roads, and it's kind of shaped like a pizza pie cut. So that like have
Hmm.
never ventured into the woods deep enough. There's two ravines. One time I got lost in there, and ever since then I never went back in because I don't know how to get out. So I mean, there's probably
Well,
more stuff that goes on deeper in the woods because I'm just at the edge of the woods where one of the logging roads is.
a good trick until you learn your property is to get like some kind of ribbon that you can see and tie that along the path that you've been, and that'll help guide you back out. I know my property. I can find my way back to the house or any part of my property in the dead of darkness. But I know
Yeah,
my property.
the only problem with that is when I had the guy come clear what was supposed to be the back of the property because I was going to put fencing up because of disputes with neighbors on the other side. He said twice when he came through that he had to reflag it because all the flags were gone. So
Mm.
I don't think
Yeah,
I'd trust putting up ribbons because I think they might disappear.
yeah, and they could. I mean, that's just one technique I've always used. Even when I'm out cryptid hunting, if I'm in an area I don't know, I'm going to put a ribbon up. That way I can find out where I've been. And I'll
Yeah.
use it like if I find some evidence, I'll put a ribbon up in an area for like that too. But that's just one way to help you. The other thing to do is keep a compass on you, and say you're going to the south. So you point your compass north at your house in the opposite direction of where you're going, and get you azimuth. And that way you can always go, okay, I need to go back this way, and this way's my home. But learn your terrain, learn your features and what they look like, and landmarks, and that will help you out a lot.
Yeah, I definitely would like to do that, but like I said, I just wandering out. I just I'll have to learn how to use a compass properly, I think, before I do that by myself because I don't really feel like wasting hours trying to find my way back out.
Yeah. And bounty's right. I mean, chalk works, paint works. There's something that marks works. If you're worried
Oh,
about
that's a
it
good
being
idea.
removed, chalk, yeah, chalk or paint's a good idea. Absolutely. Uh,
Okay.
they could be, yeah, Don, even the cryptids could be removing the ribbons as well. Yeah, absolutely, they could. It's probably human, but it could be cryptid as well. Cryptids have been known to do this stuff.
Now, those older neighbors I just mentioned contacted me because they know what goes on over here. And for one, they're hard of hearing. So they claim that they've never had any activity there and they've been there about 5 years. But about 2 weeks ago, she contacted me and said that somebody stole four of her hens out of her chicken coop last night. I said, I
Hmm.
don't think it was somebody. I think it was something because my chickens will go missing in the middle of the day because they have to be fenced in. Otherwise, they'll be gotten every night and eaten. But I have a 75 by 75 enclosure that they're in, as well as a run connected to their chicken coop. But like I said, she said she's had no activity. So this is the first significant thing that's happened on their property that they're aware of. The four hens being gone. And that was right out of their coop. So,
And cryptids are especially Bigfoot. Bigfoot is extremely well known for taking that stuff. And
yeah, that's what I told them.
you I was about to get to that. Roxanne beat me to the punch, but if you're a female living alone, male Bigfoots have been known to be friendly towards the female human species.
Yeah, I heard
So
that, but
that
I'm beyond the age where I'd be menstruating, so I don't think that, they'd find much interest because I'm not prime age, if you know what I
they're
mean.
they've been known to harass even elderly women.
Yeah.
They have been known.
Yeah.
So that's not uncommon, and that's one thing I was thinking about. But like I said, Roxanne beat me to the punch. But I was kind of rolling in my thought cage when you said you lived alone. So I was like, okay, this fits with a lot of reports of that stuff that happened.
Yeah.
They don't care. It don't affect them one bit. To me, this is sounding very much of a territorial deal. Um,
That's kind of what
you're
I
cutting.
thought.
Mhm. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. But yeah, email me your info as soon as I get a chance to get a ride down there or get down there myself. I want to check it out. I'm going to know
Okay.
more, like, see what's going on there. But
Yeah.
I mean, I can give you an idea from what you've shared with me, and sounds like that black dog instance we were talking about earlier. That's definitely dogman related, which dogman is very well known here in the Ozarks. A lot of stuff sounds like Bigfoot. Other stuff sounds like paranormal and supernatural, which fits in very, very good with what's going on because that is very common.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, and I'll send that information and you can let me know, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, guys. We are almost 2.5 hours in. So let's we'll go ahead and get this wrapped up. DA is going to be on in a little over a half hour, and I've got to get some dinner cooked up. And I got some work I still got to do. I'm going to have to reset my computer again because obviously I'm still having issues with it. So with that being said, tomorrow night, Jessica Jones is going to be on with me. We're going to be talking about energies, sensing energies, different ways to use energies to your advantage on an investigation, just in life and period. So that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow night on the Sunday night show at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, p.m. Central Standard Time. So I hope to see you guys there. Jessica will be live tonight at 7. DA goes live tonight at 8 Central Standard Time. So, yeah, trail cams, Joey. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Trail cams is a good deterrent, but they've also been known to destroy trail cams too. Yes, trail cams is a very good deterrent. Uh, so I hope to see you guys tonight in chat. I'll be listening to the shows tonight. I don't know how active I'll be in chat because I've still got a lot of work to do, but I want to at least try to say hi while I'm in there. So please go over see DA Roberts on his and Jessica Jones on hers. So until tomorrow, possibly tomorrow morning on William's show or tomorrow evening on mine, peace, love, and blessings to everyone. To my new subscribers, thank you so much. From my new to OG, you guys are badass. The super stickers today, Joanne, Larry, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys very much. And for everybody who shared, Don, Joanne, Ali, all you guys who shared either in the text or came on, I appreciate you. That's what this show's about. Let's get more people sharing because I'm a firm believer. If you don't share your stories, we lose them. So until tomorrow, guys. Love you.